Hi, this is Zach Meir with the Bulletin Board Heroes here at Zach's Traders Cafe for Monday, the 18th of November. Starting with the FTSE 100, where we have a revised rising trend channel there from this time last year. The floor of the channel there basically 80.20. The 200-day line rising there at 81.10 and looking for an end-of-day close above that 200-day line to get us back on track for the upside on this market. You could argue there's a trend line there, resistance line there heading towards 82.50, which would be the initial target. If we can get back above that 200-day moving average, I suppose at least we're back above the old October support there, around 80.70. On the downside, the worst case would be back down to testing August support at 79.15, but that rising trend channel implies we won't have to get down there. Moving on to the DAX, and here bouncing off the floor of the rising trend channel that we had last week, and 19,000 support area. The market here gratifyingly staying above the 50-day line there, 19,100. Looking at the break of that 19,500 level to give us the top of the channel there, 20,600 by the end of this year. Worst case is we've got to test the 200-day line there, 18,400. Moving on to the Dow, which obviously hasn't changed since we looked at it yesterday, but here we have the possibility of a bull trap island top, so the market back down to the uptrend line there from August, around 42,300, also the floor of the gap there from earlier this month, and the 50-day moving average. So let's see if that particular idea works out. Otherwise, if we break back above 43,800, we've got the chance of hitting that August resistance line there, 45,000, maybe by the end of the year. Moving on to Bitcoin, which or where we want this market to be above 90,000 for as long as possible. The current situation is that this is happening. Second bull flag here in the recent past. Floor of the flag there at 85,000. Above that, we're looking for 100,000 by the end of the year, maybe even sooner than that, given the way things are going at the moment, but allowing for the end of next month rather than the end of this month, which is probably what it should be, given the rate of ascent at the moment. On to gold, which has been a bit of a horror story over the recent past, the stronger dollar, etc., etc. We've got the old September support there at 25.05, so I suppose that's the most likely area that this market would head to if we go back below August resistance, 25.60.70. Worst case is we need to get back to the 200-day moving average, currently around the 24.20 level, and that August triangle floor maybe by the end of this year, but hopefully the 2500 area will stem the losses on that market. Having another look at pound dollar, given the way that it's been looking rather weak of late. We're actually already already have tested the June support there, 126.10. Below that, there's a risk of down towards 124.50 in the May support, but perhaps given the speed of the declines we've seen so far, maybe there'll be a little bit of a pause, especially as we are now in oversold territory on the RSI. Move on to the stocks, and starting off with Angle, which I think I looked at yesterday, but here you can see that still making progress with this U-shaped turnaround there above the initial November resistance, 11.9. We're looking for up to 20 pence by the end of the year, and helped along by the way that the 50-day line now is rising, which tends to be a leading indicator on the upside. On to Aqru, which I've been looking at with quite a lot of gusto in the recent past. Here you can see that we've got this rising trend channel there from back in the spring of last year, and the top of the channel there at 0.5 pence, looking for that by perhaps as soon as the end of this month, at least by the end of this year, especially while we remain on the right side of 0.3 pence, which was resistance on the way down. The rising Bitcoin price helping companies which are leveraged towards that, and at the moment we've got Coinsilium, which hit our initial target there, the top of the triangle there from the beginning of the year, around 3.9 pence. Hoping that the shares will have another go now. They've bounced off the old February-March resistance area around 3 pence, above 3, looking for 4 again, and perhaps a bit more after that. There is a line of resistance there from 2022 heading for 5 pence, which I suppose would be the best case scenario target, above 3 pence for the end of this year. Moving on to EnergyPathways, one of the stocks of the year, and here a nice consolidation above one of the former targets there, around 6.6 pence. New support coming there at 8 pence now, and so we're looking for 10 as the initial target, and then up to 13 pence maybe by the end of this year, which is an April resistance line projection, so looking quite set fair there. GS Chain is next, and here you can see a vertical move over the last few days. Looks as though we got the 50 and 200, well, it looks like a golden cross there actually at the moment. In fact, it is a golden cross. Initial target here 1.6 pence, which we're very close to. Then after that, up to as high as 2.8 pence by the end of the year. Guardian Metal helped along by concerns over basically commodity supply, metals supply. Here a rising trend channel with gapped off the 200-day line there as well, 22 3/4. Above that, looking for the top of the channel there as high as 43 pence by the end of this year, especially while we remain above the 50-day line at 26 pence. But bear trap gap reversal there for Guardian Metal gives it an extra boost. HEIQ is next, and here the situation is that we certainly overshot to the downside. We had a buy signal there when we had an end of day close above the floor of the gap there at 3.1 pence. Target then after that up around 5.4 pence, but we could actually head up to as high as the 200-day line, 9.3 pence by the end of the year, while we remain above recent support just below the 4 pence level. KR1 obviously a great beneficiary of the crypto boom at the moment, and here we've bounced off a rising 200-day line at 69 pence, and quite simply looking for a retest of this month's resistance towards 95 pence by the end of this month. Another couple of weeks to go. Director buying, in the form of the CEO buying, in fact, from the CEO at Power Metal, and here we've gapped up today. Perhaps the Sean Wade's buying more shares, 14.7 pence the initial target, and then after that looking for 19 pence by the end of this year, especially while we remain above 13 pence and the gap. On to the last two. The first one is TruFin, which I haven't looked up for ages, and here you can see that it's bounced back nicely. We've got the 50 and 200-day lines already rising. It's a bear trap island reversal, so gapping down in July and then gapping up now, which suggests quite a decent outcome here. Could be as high as the line I'm about to draw at the moment, which is heading towards 95 pence, maybe as high as 100 pence by the end of the year, while we remain above the floor of the gap there at 65 pence. Finishing off with Vinanz, and here you can see that the shares starting to head to a new for a new level on the upside. We already had the current area as a target, but it looks as though the price channel here widening and giving us the prospect of heading up to as high as the low 20s, probably that line there from back in November last year, heading for 22 pence. Looking for that by the end of next month, especially while we remain above 12 pence, which is basically recent support. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.